What if the seafood you've been eating in the name of health was actually doing the opposite, restricting blood flow to some of the most vital areas of your body and slowly chipping away at your ability to enjoy intimacy, connection, and confidence? It might sound surprising, but over the last 10 years, I've witnessed a growing number of older men dealing with poor circulation. And more often than not, the problem isn't just age, it's what's on the plate. I'm Dr. Edward Marks, and for over 3 decades, I've worked alongside men in their 60s, 70s, and beyond to help them reclaim their vitality, energy, and sense of self without relying on short-term fixes like pills or invasive treatments. Today, I want to shed light on something rarely discussed but absolutely essential, a specific kind of seafood, often ignored, that can actually help rebuild circulation, strengthen arteries, and revive that sense of closeness that many thought was gone for good. Here's the unexpected truth. While many men think they're making smart choices by eating shrimp, scallops, or imitation crab, those very foods might be doing real damage, silently weakening the very systems responsible for healthy blood flow and desire. In this article, I'll walk you through 3 of the worst seafood culprits for your circulation, and then introduce you to one underrated marine superfood that's been shown in studies to support nitric oxide levels, nourish your arteries, and bring back energy and connection in a natural and sustainable way. Before we dive in, make sure you're subscribed and have notifications turned on so you don't miss any of the practical, science-backed strategies I share here to help men over 60 feel more capable, vibrant, and in control again. And if you relate to what I'm sharing, drop a 1 in the comments. If not, type 0 and tell me what topics you'd like to explore. I read every comment, and your feedback helps shape future content. Now let's start with something many doctors fail to mention: the real reason your circulation, stamina, and performance may have taken a hit in recent years. No, it's not just the aging process, it's something deeper happening inside your arteries that needs attention. 1. The hidden circulation breakdown that begins after 60. One of my patients, Robert, age 67, sat across from me with a frustrated look in his eyes. A retired engineer, sharp and active, doing all the right things, walking regularly, eating better, but still feeling low on energy. "Doc," he told me, "it's like no matter what I do, I'm still tired. And in the bedroom, I just don't feel like myself." What Robert was facing isn't uncommon, but it's rarely talked about honestly. This wasn't simply low testosterone. It wasn't just age creeping in. What he was up against was a deeper issue: a circulation breakdown. By the time most men reach 60, the arteries that deliver oxygen-rich blood to the heart, brain, and yes, your intimate areas start to lose their flexibility. They narrow, stiffen, and over time, restrict the very flow that keeps your body energized and responsive. Worse, nitric oxide, critical molecule that tells your blood vessels when to relax and open, can decline by up to 75% as you age. And when that happens, you start to feel it: cold hands and feet, sluggish mornings, and a noticeable change in performance and drive. But the good news is, once you understand what's really going on, there are ways to reverse the trend and help your blood flow again naturally. And it starts with knowing which seemingly healthy seafoods are doing you more harm than good. The consequence? Less oxygen, fewer nutrients reaching your tissues, and reduced circulation where it counts the most. You might notice cold hands and feet, or feel a type of exhaustion that your morning coffee can't shake. And when it comes to intimacy, your body might not respond the way it once did. This isn't about lacking willpower or falling short as a man. It's physiology, plain and simple. The good news? Once you know the root of the problem, you can begin to repair it. Your blood vessels can bounce back. Your nitric oxide levels, the key to healthy circulation, can improve. And with the right changes, you can restore your energy, clarity, and connection. But first, it's important to recognize what's quietly causing harm. And in many cases, it's not just time, it's what's being served at dinner. So let's dive into something that often gets overlooked: the 3 seafood choices that are quietly working against older men's health and how taking them off your plate could be the breakthrough your body needs. Are the seafood choices that quietly sabotage circulation for men over 60. Back when I began researching how nutrition affects men's cardiovascular health, I didn't expect to find such a strong link between certain foods and poor circulation. Like many people, I assumed that most seafood was universally healthy, low in fat, high in protein, rich in minerals. But I was wrong. Some of the most commonly eaten seafoods among older adults are actually worsening the very issues we're trying to fix. One case that stands out is Gerald, a 74-year-old who had recently lost his spouse and was beginning to open his heart again to companionship. He sat in my office and said, "Dr. Marks, I've cleaned up my habits. I quit smoking. I'm watching my sugar, and I've been eating better. I even eat shrimp 3 times a week because I heard it's good for the heart." But when I looked at his test results, the picture told another story. His bad cholesterol was high, his blood pressure was on the rise, and markers for vascular health showed early damage to the blood vessel lining. So, we took a closer look at what was really on his plate. Shrimp, one of the most frequently consumed seafoods in America, is often chosen because it seems like a lean, heart-smart protein. But here's what most men don't realize. A small 3-ounce serving of shrimp contains about 180 milligrams of dietary cholesterol. That's over half the recommended daily amount in just one meal. While a younger man might be able to process that without issue, someone over 60, whose cholesterol metabolism has slowed and arteries have lost flexibility, faces a more serious risk. This excess cholesterol can contribute to hardened arteries and plaque buildup, reducing circulation in the heart, brain, and the areas most sensitive to intimacy and connection. And that's not the only concern. Shrimp also contains a protein called tropomyosin, which becomes increasingly difficult to digest with age. It's part of the reason many older men develop new shellfish sensitivities they never had in their younger years. The immune system becomes more sensitive with time, and tropomyosin can inflame the digestive tract or even trigger full-body allergic responses. What makes matters worse is that most shrimp available at grocery stores today aren't wild. They're farmed overseas in facilities that often use antibiotics like oxytetracycline. This antibiotic is banned in many developed countries, yet it still turns up in imported seafood. When residues like these enter your system, they can disrupt your gut microbiome, fuel inflammation, and gradually interfere with testosterone levels, all of which are vital to a man's energy, mood, and performance. Then there's imitation crab, or surimi. It might look and smell like the real thing, but it's essentially a heavily processed blend of fish paste, sugar, starches, and chemical flavorings. Just one serving can contain upwards of 700 milligrams of sodium, a dangerously high load for aging kidneys that may already be struggling. For men with even slightly elevated blood pressure, this kind of salt intake can lead to sudden spikes, fluid retention, and the kind of fatigue that lingers for hours. And we can't overlook its impact on blood sugar. A study from 2020 found that imitation crab raised glucose levels almost as rapidly as a slice of white bread. For men battling insulin resistance or prediabetes, which includes a large portion of men over 60, this can lead to wild energy fluctuations, belly fat accumulation, and deeper metabolic stress that directly undermines circulation. But perhaps the most surprising item on this list is scallops. They're often seen as a gourmet option, clean, elegant, and served at fine restaurants across the country. Yet behind that golden crust lies an invisible hazard: cadmium. Scallops, like other filter-feeding shellfish, can concentrate heavy metals from their environment. And cadmium, in particular, is a known toxin to the kidneys. Once inside your body, it doesn't exit easily. It builds up, slowly impairing the kidney's ability to filter waste, control blood pressure, and regulate minerals. For older men with borderline kidney function, this can quietly tip the scales toward more serious issue, often without any warning signs. And if you thought scallops at least brought cardiovascular benefits to the table, think again. Despite their reputation, scallops contain extremely low levels of omega-3 fatty acids. A standard 100-gram portion offers less than 30 milligrams of EPA and DHA combined. That's just a sliver compared to what you'd get from a serving of salmon or oysters. So, here's the bottom line. Not all seafood is created equal, and this is especially true for men over 60. Shrimp can raise cholesterol, and trigger immune responses. Imitation crab delivers a dangerous mix of sodium, sugar, and processed additives. And scallops, while fancy in appearance, offer little benefit while introducing potential toxins that burden your kidneys. If you've relied on these foods, I understand it's what we've been told is healthy. But the encouraging truth is, once these harmful options are removed, the body has an incredible capacity to rebound. Blood vessels begin to regain their flexibility, energy improves, skin tone brightens, even your sense of well-being and confidence start to return. And this is just the beginning, because now we come to the part that offers the greatest promise. There's one marine food often dismissed as insignificant that has been shown in real studies to boost nitric oxide, calm inflammation, and help repair the fragile inner lining of your arteries. Let's talk about that next. It's not just good for your heart and circulation, it can actually help restore intimacy and a deeper sense of connection many men thought they had lost. Let's explore that now. Sen, the one seafood that supports blood flow and brings back intimacy. When I first read the research, I was skeptical. A simple ocean plankton brushed off as just seaweed was showing results that rivaled medications used to improve blood flow, joint health, and yes, even sexual wellness. But the studies were clear. And when I began suggesting it to my older patients who were struggling with energy, performance, and circulation, the changes were truly inspiring. It's called sea moss, also known as Irish moss. You won't find it headlining fancy recipes, and the taste is mild at best. But make no mistake, it's one of the most mineral-rich marine foods available. And what it can do for aging men is surprisingly powerful. Sea moss is packed with over 90 trace minerals, many of which your body begins to lose with age. It provides iodine for a healthy thyroid, magnesium and potassium to help stabilize blood pressure, and iron to support lasting energy. But its most critical role? Circulation. What sets sea moss apart is that it provides collagen-building nutrients, the same ones your body uses to maintain healthy blood vessels, skin, and connective tissues. And most importantly, it supports your body's production of nitric oxide, the chemical that allows blood vessels to relax and expand. As men get older, nitric oxide production plummets. That's a big reason why you might notice cold hands and feet, stiffer joints, or a drop in drive and responsiveness. Sea moss helps reverse this by lowering inflammation in the endothelium, the thin lining inside your arteries. When that lining is strong and healthy, blood flows easily. But when it's inflamed or damaged, everything slows down, including circulation to the areas that matter most. Sea moss contains soothing soluble fibers, natural antioxidants, and amino acids like proline that help repair that vital inner lining. I had one patient, Henry, 70 years old, who had tried just about everything. L-arginine powders, hormone therapy, prescription meds, nothing lasted. But when we cleaned up his diet and added just 1 tablespoon of sea moss gel each morning, things slowly began to shift. Within 2 weeks, he told me his energy was steadier, his gut felt better, and his sense of confidence started to come back. I'm not claiming sea moss is a cure-all. It's not a magic bullet. But what it does is help your natural systems, your heart, your digestion, your thyroid, and your blood vessels all work better together. That's the kind of synergy that creates real, lasting change across your whole body. Sea moss is also a rich source of mucilage, a soft, gel-like fiber that soothes and protects your digestive tract. Why does that matter? Because for many older men, low energy, poor nutrient absorption, and even hormone issues often begin in the gut. When the lining of your intestines is inflamed, your body can't absorb the very nutrients it needs to produce testosterone, manage blood sugar, or keep your blood vessels healthy. Sea moss helps gently seal and calm the gut lining, while nourishing the good bacteria that help you digest food and absorb vitamins. The result? Your body becomes more efficient at using the nutrients you're already eating. Sea moss also plays a key role in helping your body naturally balance sodium and potassium, which is essential for maintaining steady blood pressure without the spikes and dips caused by some medications. Unlike fish oil or synthetic supplements that can upset your stomach or leave you with unpleasant burps, sea moss is gentle and plant-based. It blends easily into a smoothie, tea, soup, or can even be eaten straight from the spoon. Preparing it is simple. Rinse the dried sea moss well. Soak it in clean water overnight, then blend it into a smooth gel. 1 or 2 tablespoons per day is all you need. Just avoid boiling. High heat can weaken some of its natural compounds. Keep it simple. Let your body do the rest. What I appreciate most about sea moss is that it doesn't just help with circulation, it supports your overall vitality. It helps smooth digestion, ease joint stiffness, improve skin tone, and even sharpen your mood and focus. Because once your blood is flowing and your cells are well fed, everything else starts to align, from how you move to how you feel in your own skin. This is healing from the inside out. And for many men in their 60s and 70s, it's the first time in years they've felt like they're gaining ground instead of falling behind. But sea moss isn't the only marine food making a big impact. In fact, there's another rich in unique omega-3s, essential minerals, and natural compounds that help ease joint pain, improve flexibility, and boost stamina. It's a shellfish, native to just one corner of the world, that's finally starting to get the recognition it deserves. We began by cutting out the common seafoods that had been quietly working against his circulation: shrimp, scallops, and imitation crab. In their place, we introduced what his body had been quietly asking for: sea moss, green-lipped mussels, oysters, proper hydration, and gentle movement. No drastic diets, no intense treatments, just real, natural nourishment. Within weeks, his blood pressure began to stabilize. He started sleeping through the night. And when he walked into my office with a smile and said, "I feel like myself again, not 20, but back to being me," I knew we were on the right track. You see, this isn't about turning back the clock. It's about restoring balance, giving your body the simple support it needs to recover. One meal, one walk, one good decision at a time. And if you're curious what a full week of circulation-friendly eating could look like, foods that truly support your energy, your arteries, and your connection to life, I have something special coming soon that will show you exactly how to do that. Let's wrap this up. If you've stayed with me this far, thank you. Not just for listening, but for being open to learning something that might shift the course of your health. Because everything we covered today isn't just about what's on your plate, about taking back the parts of your life that may have slowly faded without you noticing. We began by facing a hard truth, that after 60, circulation issues are more common than most men realize. But they're not inevitable. Then we peeled back the layers on everyday seafoods that seem harmless, like shrimp or imitation crab, can quietly chip away at your energy, blood flow, and even your confidence. From there, we explored sea moss, a humble marine food with the power to boost nitric oxide, calm inflammation, and restore vitality from the inside out. And we ended with a real story: one man's quiet return to feeling grounded in his body again, thanks to small, consistent changes that gave his system what it needed to work better. This journey is not about gimmicks. It's about nourishment, movement, oxygen, and a shift in mindset, from managing decline to encouraging recovery. And if you start now, no matter your age, you might be surprised by how much life is still waiting for you. You're not too late. You're not too far gone. Your body still knows how to heal. All it needs is a little help to begin. So stay with me, there's more to come. If this message meant something to you, take a second to like the video. Share it with a friend, a brother, or someone you love. You never know who needs this. And drop a comment below. I read them all, and often, your words become the spark someone else needs. And if you'd like to help keep this channel going so we can continue bringing honest, doctor-informed health content to men over 60, consider making a small donation. Every bit helps us reach more people who need this support. Thanks for spending your time here. Take good care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next video.